Yes, we are back, and I've got Matt to my left.
Hello, morning.
Morning. Getting over. I mean, Fulham at home on Sunday with, especially what happened on Tuesday. How are you feeling going into it?
Well, it's a big acid test, isn't it? But 2 or 3 minutes from the end, I was saying, "Oh dear, this has all gone a bit Pete Tong, hasn't it? We were going to get no points." And last time we spoke, we were saying, "Oh, how many points we want from the next 2 games? 2 points was going to be okay." But then you were looking at getting a beating, and you're thinking, "Crikey, we might not get to. We might not get any points. It's a whole different ball game." Then obviously we all know what happened. Brilliant. I thought they played pretty average, but pretty below average on Tuesday, really. I mean, they got the result, fantastic. In a way, it's the best possible away performance. You play badly and you walk away with the points, but not a lot works. None of the set plays seemed to work at all. The crossing was all too long, I think. I don't think anyone will have gone home thinking, "Oh, I had a good game," sort of thing, but they'd have all enjoyed the result. So come Sunday, well, it's there, isn't it? You know, we're a hard team to beat. It's mouth-watering game in prospect. I fancy us. I certainly don't think we'll get beaten. And it's going to be a good test, but it will be a test. It'll be an acid test. If we can get through, if we can win that game, then you really are looking up the league. And you know, a draw would still be a good result, isn't it? It's not going to dent our hopes too much, and we'll be happy with the 4 points which we were hoping for.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I always remember Tuesday because when we got the penalty, we were like, "Oh, take a point. I'll be happy with it." But and after that, it was just like carnage. I mean, I was just saying to you just before we came on, like, "Oh, that for us to do that, it's like it was unreal." I mean, you would have got that on Winter.
No, you'd have been trying to hold on for a 1-0 defeat, wouldn't you, sort of thing? No, but that's the kind of thing. You look at the teams, the Leeds of this world that get promoted, and you say, "Look at the blood every time." Well, the Man Uniteds are the classic ones where you say, "Look, every game they score 2 goals. So lucky." But you make your own luck, don't you? And you know, again, Cooper. I thought the midfield didn't work desperately well, and they missed Cole back quite badly, but they made it work one way or another. And I thought the most significant thing to note was the changes he made. I think really, if you've got to say anything about that last game, it was Cooper's best performance. Well, you know, he's done pretty much everything right, but we relied on Cooper rather than anyone else. The tactical substitution, Myton didn't do anything much, but obviously Lolly and obviously the man himself, Mr. Taylor. You know, they did the business. So you've got to give the biggest plaudits to Cooper, I think.
Yeah, I mean, that second time done that, he made that change, and it proved that to be a cracking change. I mean, to go for it. I mean, even when they brought Taylor on, for him to actually score that penalty, pick the ball up, leg it back, because he wanted to win it.
He looked very confident. But again, that's a guy whose confidence you might think might be in the toilet because he hasn't had the best of times. He hasn't been in the team. He hasn't been on the pitch much. He looked full of it, didn't he? He wanted to play. He wanted to grab the ball and take it back to the halfway line quick as he could. And the subs and everyone else that got involved in the celebrations, it's a happy squad. And that's the premium you get when you can achieve that. So he's keeping everyone happy. We're seeing the results, and they can believe in him, can't they? And like you're saying, the substitutions, we've all been saying, why doesn't he do something? Why? And people say, "Oh, he knows best. He knows his subs aren't." All that myth goes totally out of the window. And it's a simple game, football. If you're losing, you've got nothing more to lose, have you? You know, try something. It might work. You know, it might not work, but you're the only guy that can do anything. So try something different. Play in hand. And like I say, he got it slightly wrong because Myton was the least effective of them. If we brought on Lolly earlier, he could have done it with time to spare, perhaps. But, you know, you don't know, do you? There's no givens. You just do what you think's right. He tried, he did 3 things. Boom, 2 out of the 3. Well, it all worked, didn't it? Really, it all worked. And, you know, fair play to him.
I mean, Cooper even said in the week about it, saying that the subs are being very professional and all putting the shift in. So And obviously that would breed the confidence into place, and obviously it's shown with Taylor.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, he looked like, now you say, can you drop him? And that's a nice problem to have. And it's the same all over the pitch. You've got lots of players. Lolly did well. I thought, like I said, they all were a little bit blow pie. It looked to me like they had a long coach journey, which they had, and it was in their legs, and they're all a bit. And Bristol weren't very good. I didn't think they were very good at all, really. But they scored the goal. Samba took a bit of heat for that. I still actually haven't gone to have a good look at it again. I gather Worrell was a little bit at fault, and obviously Samba with the parry could have been a bit better. But he redeemed himself with that save later. It was so good the referee didn't think he touched it. And that's what you get. You take the rough with the smooth, don't you? And it's going okay at the moment. We're getting in there. We're taking a few blows, but we're coming out with the belt around the waist still.
Yeah. Sunday will be the biggest test. I mean, I thought Bristol City to get something out of it would have been good, and we did. And Sunday will be that bigger test, see how far we have came under Cooper.
Well, it's the classic Forest thing, isn't it? Overall, the last 20 years, you have 2 or 3 results, and apart from maybe under Billy, where we did go on for, have like runs of 20 games and things like this. But you have a few results, and then you I don't know, we always seem to be looking ahead, saying, oh, now we're going to get promoted. Oh, now we're not going to get relegated. And we take the foot off the pedal, or whatever it is, whatever the problem is. So this is Cooper's next big challenge, to keep the intensity up, and he'll know that. He's not stupid. He'll know that. But it's a big thing for Forest, and if we can now become a team that doesn't relax when we think, when we're already sort of buying the champagne for the end of the season, we'll become a proper threat. And win, lose or draw, it won't define anything. We can, if we lose, we'll still be pretty happy with 3 points over the 2 games. It would have been okay. We're not far behind what we would have taken to start with. But I think we can win, and I just want us to go for it, and we'll find out.
Oh, definitely. I mean, as well with that, I mean, he touched up on it already. It's nice to have already to have that. Who would you play? Who don't you want to play? I mean, grabbing it in form, tell us. Hopefully, you can kick on now. Lonnie came on and made an impression. But Cooper, it's a nice thing for Cooper to have.
Yeah, I mean, look, Taylor's probably. It's not so with all these players, though. It's not actually what he did. You or me might have been able to score from a yard out and get a penalty. That's kind of irrelevant. He did it, and it's mental, isn't it? He always could do it, but for the whole time he's been at Forest, he's had a thing where it hasn't worked out. Virtually nothing's gone right for him, really, until Tuesday night, and everything went right. So hopefully, mentally, it will be a huge boost to him, and he'll become the player he's capable of being. And we got options. Whichever one you pick, you got the other one, and you can play them both if you're desperate. And again, that just strengthens Cooper's hand, and a good manager with a good hand of cards to play. You're strong, aren't you?
Yeah.
His Houghton, it was the opposite. He didn't want to do his job. He told everyone that they were crap, whether on the pitch or off the pitch. You're creating a totally useless, hopeless position, aren't you? Whereas now it's the other way round, and you won't give up hope. And there you go. You start winning games in injury time.
Yeah, typical Man U from the 99 season when you won that many games in 30 time, I should call it.
Yeah, I think everyone was waiting with Houston in charge. Everyone said, let it end as soon as possible. But yeah, you want a manager that's trying to eke out every second of the match, because they, and players that put in all they can. Like I say, I didn't think we played desperately well on Tuesday. But Spence, deserves a hell of a lot of credit for getting in the box to win that penalty at the end. The whole of the last 2 games, I've been disappointed. He hasn't really attacked the people like he did before, his fullback. But he did, and we, perfect timing,
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, we could have had a penalty early on, I thought, Tuesday as well.
Well, there was 2 or 3, weren't there? They seem to think they might have had a couple. McKenna, who we hardly saw, did they? This sensational tackle in the first half. But I think the ref hadn't covered, and they probably, like you say, I was chuffed when he went for it, because you thought that's got to be a penalty. Yeah. And he took his time a little bit, but he did the right thing eventually. But it's a great result. It's the kind of result a team that gets promoted gets, and let's hope it's the first of quite a few more to come. Because if there are a few more to come, we will be definitely up there. We'll be in the top 6 for sure, if not talking about the top 2.
Yeah, definitely. I totally agree actually with that. Nice to get into that habit as well of doing it.
Yeah, well, it is becoming a bit predictable now, isn't it? Same team, same sort of. Personally, like I say, I think the last couple of games, the performances haven't been up to what they were before, and that will happen. But let's see. I think they'll be really up for the game on Sunday, and they'll know they can't sort of. They're at home. They've got they have virtually a full house behind them, if not a full house. It's perfect. It's a precursor to bigger things, isn't it? It's a big step in the right direction. So, we've been waiting a little while for this kind of thing. And like I say, the key thing now is to not, go on from this, not just, step back and whatever.
Yeah. I mean, Fulham got Mitrovic as well, which we all know he is a handful to be. But then you think about our back 3 at the minute, they probably can deal with him really well.
I hope so. Yeah, I mean, you couldn't ask for a better back 3, really, could you? I think any team in the Championship would swap theirs for ours, probably, and the keeper behind them. But we'll see, won't we? That's the fascinating thing. That's why we all go and watch the game. Else you just watch it on teletext and just see what happened on there. But it'll be fascinating, and you can't give him. Can't give him a chance, can you? They're going to have to be right on top of him. But they look so comfortable with the back 3. Why not? Put figs on him or something, rough him up a bit. He's a temperamental bloke as well. That's the other thing. Step on him for a bit, and we'll see what happens. I mean, Fulham, I understand, are very erratic as well. You get good Fulham and not very good Fulham. So. Personally, I'd like to get the good Fulham and give them and find out what they're about. So, we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, they remind me so much of Forest. Like you either get Forest or double Forest. So
yeah, absolutely. So, you want a prediction?
Yeah. You knew what we've done to out with them.
Yeah, I know. You're always going to ask me the prediction. So, prediction. I don't know. Let's say 2-1 to us.
Oh, that's a nice prediction.
I think we can win. What do you think?
I'll probably say 2-1 because 2-1 seems to be like the favourite score this season. Most things finish 2-1.
Yeah. I mean, I think obviously, you're going to do all the usual things. Try and keep a clean sheet first of all. Probably it's going to be quite tough to keep a clean sheet on this occasion, but 2-1, yeah. Let's hope so. Let's hope we're right. Let's hope we're not kidding ourselves. But like I say, it's not about the result's nice. The result was everything on Tuesday. But let's hope we can go out there and mix it with them and get the result anyway. Because if we can win when we play pretty average, and we can win when we play well, and we can win against out of form teams and informed teams, we're going to be okay, aren't we?
Yeah. And if we play not well and win games, it gives you that bonus as well.
Well, that's the thing. Like the fans, you've got some people when Hewson went, they were still saying, "Oh, give him time." But the two things are separate. I think you've got to win games first. If you win games, that game on Tuesday, if we'd lost and Hewson had been in charge and he hadn't made any of the substitution, we just rolled over. There'd still be people saying, give him time. But it's not about winning and losing. It's about the way you do it. And we won that game trying to win that game. And we could have lost it trying to win the game. It's irrelevant. The main thing is we tried, and guess what? We won. And on Sunday, same thing. As long as we go out there and we try, we put our best foot forward, we won't necessarily play well. But as long as we do our best, as long as we try to do the right things, we stand as our best chance of winning. And I think we can.
Yeah, definitely. I do actually agree with that. It's the Cooper train, as I call it.
The Cooper effect.
Yeah, the Cooper train.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's hope it stays on the tracks. I mean, again, he's done everything right, and he said, "Oh, there's going to be problems," and there will be. There'll be days when he won't be able to do his fist pumps, and stuff like that. But so far, so good, and we've got a good squad of players. He's a good manager. He's doing the right things. He'll get the right results, and I hope that when we do play well or whatever, when we get beaten, when we draw games we should win and all this kind of stuff, because it will happen, I think Forest fans will stick with him, because I think he's shown what's possible. So give him time, because he knows what he's doing, and he's trying to do the right things, and you'll see the results, and we'll see progress. And that's really what we want to see, because we've seen him do chalk and cheese, brilliant stuff in no time at all. Now we want to see him even build on that. And I think he can. Like we were saying earlier, with the subs, the squad we've got, if he can start to do that, get Carvalho involved and all this kind of stuff, we're going to look really, really good prospect for promotion. So, that's his next task.
Yeah, definitely. I do completely agree with that, actually. It does make sense.
Well, yeah, let's hope so. I mean, personally, I'm not so bothered about getting promoted this year. If as long as we're moving in the right direction, and next season we're that much stronger. But I think last season the league was poor. This season the league's poor again. There's only 2 or 3 really good teams. There's a few strong teams at the top, no doubt about it. But it shouldn't be that difficult to get in the top 6.
I think from what sorry.
Go on, Ian.
I was going to say, I think from where QPR is to 18th, I think there's only 2 wins in it. From what I've seen
there's nothing in it. No, there's nothing in it, and it's great that we're in touch. It's just a shame, the start of the season was so bad that it's a couple more points and we'd already be there. But momentum is everything. We've got momentum, and if we're going to get in the top 6, we're going to have to do pretty well for the rest of the season. If we're going to get in the top 2, we're going to have to do very well for the rest of the season. I thought it was beyond us, and it really was beyond us. You can't give away 10% of your games. There's not very often you win things by 10% when you compete for the whole year. When you give them like 10% of the fixtures to start with, you've got a huge disadvantage. But he's kind of already made up the slack almost, and so we've got the momentum. We're top of the form leagues. He's just got to, he's got to maintain the belief and keep doing the right things, and the results will be a byproduct of that, I think, and that's what he's done so far.
Definitely. So that's it. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks a lot, Dan, and let's hope the boys just get us our 2-1, and then it'll be another good job done.
Definitely. So that's it. Thanks for watching.